Alright, you guys, I have a Gate Guardian deck profile for y'all today. It's been a lot of fun. I actually started playing more Master Duel right around the Duelist Cup starting, so you're going to see some replays from Ranked and some replays from the Duelist Cup. I did several iterations of this deck until I came across the one that I like the best, and that's the one that I'm running now. Although I do need to make a third shiny Prisma because having just the one is weird. But sorry, just the two is weird. But anyway, let's get into it. I have 3 Maxi. This card's amazing. You definitely want to run Maxi at 3 because more cards is more better. 1 Nemesis Flag. This is good because sometimes when you've exhausted your other options to recycle your pieces, Nemesis Flag is just really useful. Also, you can do things like if you've banished one of your Labyrinth tanks with Sacred Sword, you can use Nemesis Flag to recycle that. It's basically just good to recycle any banished monster. It works by targeting one banished monster except Nemesis Flag. Special summon him from your hand. If you do, shuffle the target into the deck. And then during the main phase, you can add one Nemesis monster from your deck to your hand, except Nemesis Flag. You can only use each effective flag once per turn. This is definitely a decent card. Next, we have 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. You definitely want to run 3. Your opponent's probably running 3 Maxis. Your opponent's also probably running things that search their deck. So this card is just decent in general. Next, we have 3 Prisma. I see a lot of people running 2 Prisma. I prefer 3 because if I don't draw into Labyrinth Tank, if I don't draw into something to set one of the pieces on the field, Prisma can become that piece's name on the field. And Prisma also leaves a piece in the graveyard. So let's say you get the other 2 on the field, or the other 1 piece you need if you're doing a 2-piece fusion on the field. You can banish Prisma instead, and then you can later recycle Prisma with Flag and leave one of the pieces in your graveyard. This is good because the big Gate Guardians combined, you can banish from hand, field, or grave, whereas the 2 pieces have to be on hand or have to be on field. So this card lets you basically save a piece in the grave for later. It's pretty decent. Next, we have Nemesis Corridor. Target a banished monster except Corridor. Special summon it from your hand. If you do shuffle the target into the deck, then you can target a banished Nemesis monster except Corridor and add it to your hand. You can only use each effect Nemesis Corridor once per turn. This card's decent. I mainly have it because it's 1900 attack. You can run the different Nemesis pieces. These are just the 2 that I decided on. Next we have Shadow Ghoul of the Labyrinth. This is one of your key cards. You can discard it, add a Labyrinth Wall card, which you're going to add Labyrinth Wall Shadow. Not many people are going to play the vanilla on this deck, and I definitely wouldn't recommend it myself. And then, in addition to being able to add the Labyrinth Wall card, at the start of the damage step, if your opponent battles while you control a Labyrinth Wall card, you can banish this card from your graveyard, destroy that opponent's monster. You can only use each effect of Shadow Ghoul of the Labyrinth once per turn. So if your opponent's monster battles, period, like if you attack it, you can still banish this to destroy it. So if you attack something that's higher attack, you can banish it to destroy it. I'm going to show you that in some of the replays. But this card is very good. Next, we have 1 Song of Thunder, 1 Kazajan, and 1 Suijin. Why am I not running 2 of the pieces? Because they brick too hard. I know that a lot of people are like, well, if you're running 2 of each, you have the higher likelihood of drawing into them, being able to banish them from your hand to make Gate Guardians combined. But I don't want to banish from my hand. I never want to banish from my hand because that's basically just negging cards at that point, when I can instead do things like place one in the spell and trap card zone with Wall Shadow or Labyrinth Tank, or copy it with Prisma, or use Fusion Deployment to beam it out. Whereas if I banish them from my hand, I'm just going to be going like neg 3 for Gate Guardian combined, which not good. So all these guys have the same effect of once while face up on the field during damage calculation in your opponent's turn. If this card is being attacked, you can target the attacking monster and make that target's attack 0 during damage calculation only. Not the worst effect, at least they're not vanillas. I've actually used that effect before, which is really funny. Next we have 2 Fenrir. He's level 7. He's an easy to summon level 7. and he can search another copy of himself to help you deck thin. He's really good in situations where you would need Big Eye or Mecha Fan to beast Dracosac. Keep in mind that all the pieces are also level 7, which is pretty cool. If you run a larger Kashtira package in here, you actually can run like one unicorn and one of the spell card. So you can actually search the spell card and normal summon the pieces. That's a decent option. I just felt like sometimes that would clog hands with combo pieces that I couldn't use. And so I ended up not running that. But it's not a bad option. You might find that you like it. If you do decide to do that, I would kind of run like 2 Labyrinth Tank and like 1 Sacred Sword, and then put in a Unicorn and the spell card for the Kashtira as the continuous one that lets you normal summon level 9. I mean, not 9, not level 7. Going a little crazy today. Next, we have 3 Heavy Labyrinth Tank. Labyrinth Heavy Tank, rather. You can normal summon without tributing. Can't attack the turn it's normal summoned. During your main phase, you can place one of your Song of Thunder Kazujin or Suijin that is banished or in your hand or deck, or face up in your, from your hand or deck, face up in your continuous spell or trap card zone. So it's banished or hand or deck. You can place it. Not graveyard, but you don't really need to worry about placing them from the grave. So it'll be placed as a continuous spell. Then if you control a Labyrinth Wall, which will be your field spell, you can destroy 1 monster your opponent controls. It does not target. You can only use this effect Labyrinth Heavy Tank once per turn. Pretty decent card. Next we have 1 Gamma Seal. We're running it because sometimes you need a Kaiju, even more so against Pearly. 2 Sacred Sword at the 7-star. 3 Fusion Deployment. I've actually been thinking about cutting this to 2 because sometimes you brick it and you can't really use it because all your pieces are already out of your deck. Although the Nemesis cards actually kind of help make this live even with 3. But if you wanted to run the cash package instead, you could take one of those out and like a tank out and still run the 2 Sacred Swords. Next we have 1 Triple Tactics Talent. And then finally 3 Labyrinth Wall Shadow. Monsters summoned cannot attack the turn they are summoned. Monsters cannot attack the turn they are summoned, except monsters whose original level is level 5 or higher. This is really good. It basically makes it to where your opponent can't attack you on the turn they summon monsters if they're like link monsters or monsters that don't have a level. It has to be a monster whose level is 5 or higher, original level. Once per turn during your main phase, you can place one of your Song of Thunder, Kazujin, or Suijin that is banished in your hand or deck face up as a continuous spell. At the start of your opponent's battle phase, you can target 1 monster your opponent controls with 1600 or less attack and destroy it. 3 Super Poly, 2 Called By, 1 double attack, Wind and Thunder. This card's decent. If you control a Gate Guardian monster, you can target 1 card on the field, destroy it. During your main phase, you can banish it from your grave, add one of your Sanga of Thunder or Suijin that is banished or in your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect to double attack Wind and Thunder once per turn. And then 2, there can be only 1. This doesn't really affect Vanquished, but this is like the auto win button against some decks in the format, so I've really enjoyed it. 1 Garara, Wings of Resonant Life. 1 Earth Golem Adagnister, 1 Starving Venom Fusion Dragon, 1 Predaplant Dragostapelia, 1 Predaplant Trifoot over him, 1 Gate Guardian of Thunder and Wind, 3 Gate Guardian of Wind and Water. This card's insane against Labyrinth. You'll probably see that in the replays. I think I got some lab replays for you. 1 Gate Guardian of Water and Thunder. You'll rarely ever summon this one, and we'll go over their effects in a moment, but sometimes he's useful. 2 Gate Guardians combined, 1 Baron de Flor, 1 Big Eye, 1 Dracosac. So let's go ahead and go back over the Gate Guardian effects. So the first one, Thunder and Wind, is 1 Song of Thunder, 1 Kazujin. Has to be special summoned from your extra deck by banishing the above cards you control. During your main phase, you can add 1 spell or trap from your deck to your hand that mentions Song of Thunder, Kazujin, and Suijin. So basically you can add this, which is really useful. You can also add this, which is also useful. I don't like running the Jargoma trap. I think it's too slow. And then you can only use that effect if you get Guardian of Thunder and win once per turn. If this face-up special summon card in its owner's control leaves the field because of an opponent's card, so battle or card effect, you can special summon one of your banished Saga of Thunder or Kazajan. So that float effect also applies to Wind and Water when it's destroyed by a card effect by one of your opponent's cards. You can special summon a Kazajan or Suijin. This guy's effect is really neat. So once per chain, when your opponent activates a spell or trap card or effect on the field, quick effect, you can negate that effect. You can only use this effect of Gate Guardian of Wind and Water twice per turn, so 2 spell and trap negates. So pretty decent. Next we have Gate Guardian of Water and Thunder. Same deal, you gotta special summon it by banishing the above cards you control. This one's Suijin and Song of Thunder. Once per chain, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls, change its attack to 0 until the end of the turn, and you can use this effect twice per turn, and it also has that float effect to special summon a Suijin or Song of Thunder if it leaves the field because of an opponent's card. Finally, we got the big one, the Mac Daddy himself, and Gate Guardians combined. Must be special summoned from your extra deck by banishing the above cards from your hand, field, or graveyard. So unlike the 2 pieces that require field, this can be from anywhere. When your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a card, you can negate that effect. It's a quick effect. And if you do, destroy that card. You can only use this effect of Gate Guardians combined thrice per turn, which means 3 times per turn. If this face-up special summon card leaves the field because of an opponent's card, you can special summon one level 11 or lower Gate Guardian monster from your deck or extra deck, ignoring its summoning condition. So you can float into one of these bad boys, which pretty awesome if you ask me. And yeah, that's about it. Let's go ahead and get into the replays. I'm going to save just in case I altered anything by mistake. And we're going to go ahead and go into the replays. I do have a couple of replays, I think, that show the cash package working in this as well. Just because I do want people to be aware of that option. I don't really like the cash package as much, although I'm thinking with some of the matchups that I've had, I might want to probably cut Fusion Deployment too and put in one of the cash package cards and do that with something else as well. Just because there are sometimes issues with not having it. But anyway, here we go. Search, Prisma, because if they're going to try to stop something, we want them to stop Prisma. Field spell, Suijin, banish. Unfortunately, we got a neg one from hand. Gate Guardian. My opponent's apparently playing Vanquished, which is interesting. So they're going to do things. They're going to Book of Moon my Gate Guardian. Kind of annoying. I'm not going to let them add it back to hand. We're going to banish it. And they're going to surrender for some reason. They must have not got a very good hand. But next turn, I was going to pretty much pop off because we could use Gate Guardian to basically destroy things that they try to target it with. Because a lot of cash cards do target. I do think it would have been more interesting if that person played it out. They might have won, but they didn't. Always play out your matches. Hopefully this replay will be a little more eventful. Here we go. Bam, bam, bam. They're in a max C, which is hilarious. And yeah, we're just gonna chill. We have a Spell Trap Negate and a Super Poly down, so we're in a good place. Got the max C in hand. Nope. Nope. I shouldn't have negated the first one. That was actually a misplay because it still stays on the field, but it doesn't matter. They didn't get to do anything anyway. So here we go. We're just going to start ramping up. We're going to say no to that. Do all the things. Recycle Prisma. Get Keystone. I was playing Keystone instead of Condor at this point, and I did not I didn't really like Keystone. We ended up with Corridor because I felt like it was a little better. But at the end of the day, they're pretty much just there to recycle the pieces. You could also run the one burial from a different dimension because you could also shuffle banished cards your opponent has back, which is sometimes relevant. But I felt like that card was less useful, personally. I liked having the body on the board. So here we have Resignators. Interesting. They're taking the Maxi challenge. Maybe not the best idea for them. That card is Dark. Oh yeah. I know what's probably going to happen here. Okay, so it's like, can't do anything about it. Fine, I'll just fuse them. Sucks I had to lose my Gordian. But whatever. Not the worst. I'll get it back. And I flip that there can be one only, and they pretty much lose at that point, because all their little dudes are fiends. TC Boo coming in clutch. This is the wrong replay. Pause, pause. Don't care about that. Ah, there we go. Here's the one with the cash package. Unicorn. Get rid of that Maxi. Pop the unicorn effect. Nothing really good so far. Potential to be good though. And we get shifted. I don't like that. Pretty much just say no to my opponent's entire turn. That's sweet. Oh yeah. There we go. Gordian. I banished all of their Arise Hearts, right? Yeah. Oh yeah, it has 0 attack, so you can just pop it with a field spell. It's so funny. And yeah, they just got absolutely wrecked. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end the replays here. But yeah, if you guys like this deck, let me know what you think down below. It's a lot of fun. It's definitely not super competitive or anything, but it is very fun. And as far as Rogue goes, it's fun to run, and I would definitely give it a chance. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.